Hello and welcome back to Crew 42's coverage of the River City Open of 2025 presented by Discraft. It is our MPO Feature Card here at Earl Brewer Park in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It is our back 9 round 1 coverage. My name is Zach O'Haron on the commentator's mic along with Frank Smith. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
We've had a pretty spectacular front 9, pretty clean. If you haven't already, please consider liking, subscribing, hitting that notification bell because you get to see when we have more coverages coming out, and we have some coverages coming up from different states. It's going to be really cool. But we have the River City right now. Taking a look at those front 9 scores, what's your first reaction?
Good scores. You want to be 5, 6 through 9. The front 9 is definitely easier for most than the back 9 is. The back 9 gets out into the wind, just like you're going to see here on hole 10. Hole 10 is a par 3, 340 feet uphill. Really the first time these guys are throwing in the wind. Hole 8 has some wind to it, but it's flat. So getting up into hole 10, you typically have a right to left, which you'll probably see here.
It's also another distance check. Even though 340 doesn't sound like a lot, it is uphill. And this is one of those holes that doesn't have added OB for this year, but there's been whispers that there might be in the future.
Interesting.
The whole, and this is the tough part about making decisions like that in a course like this, because this hole inherently is not necessarily difficult for these players, especially in lower wind conditions. Like Jon, in my opinion, Zach was leaking that one too far left. Those are misses, in my opinion, on this hole.
Agreed.
But when you put 15, 20 mile per hour gusts on this hole, now it's not easy. So putting the OB in play is almost too punishing. So you have to kind of play that balancing act between what would be fair in terms of OB. They didn't add it this year. They want to see how it played. I think that's a probably pretty smart decision. They also have some trees that they're trying to let grow and see how those come to play. And really excited to see them continue work on the course. I love it when they make tweaks to a great event and not just overhaul from the beginning and reset. So I've been loving the changes they made so far this year. We'll see if they continue to do that in the future. But I expect that Shea and James will continue to do a great job out here.
They run this event well. Great
bang.
Putts. Great putt from Austen. This wind on this basket makes this putt really, really hard.
Even today with a low wind, it's still going to gust enough where you have to think about it. So you have to control your nerves, and this is really where you have to take that wind putting. You have to lock it in now.
Have to.
Because if you go 3, 4, 5 holes to figure it out, all of a sudden your back nine's gone.
Right.
Hole 11, in my opinion, the most dangerous hole in the course.
Definitely.
Why do I think that?
Because this tee shot is gross. It's really gross. Downhill, so discs are coming in hot. Weird landing zone.
Sure.
And very, very tight Mando. I know this looks big from the commentary. A lot of you are going to look at it.
I could make that.
I could make that. When you've got a 15-mile-an-hour headwind in your face, it's not easy, as Jon shows you there.
Now, if you have to give yourself the best chance to make the double Mando, you have to birdie it. You throw backhand or forehand, and why?
I'm throwing my Firebird backhand.
Okay.
Hard. It's pretty straight, pretty overstable.
Why not forehand?
Because this gap doesn't play well for the forehand. That tree on the left is actually a little closer than the tree on the right. And so you want to hyzer into the green a little bit with the backhand.
So you see Austen getting into that area.
That's his zone.
Yeah.
Something about that disc, when he throws it, it works.
It's just magic.
He's had it forever, and it just flies perfectly.
He's been doing that Luna challenge over the top. Maybe he should start throwing his zone.
Yeah, I would think
He'd
so.
probably go in sooner.
Head over to Austin's Instagram or Facebook to check out that Luna challenge.
Now, they're having a conversation. Jon's disc has landed on the Mando line.
Interesting.
So they're having a conversation.
Very interesting.
Because when that rule changed initially, if you just break the plane, they're talking about it in terms of whether it was a missed Mando or not.
Right.
They, it doesn't get shown in the coverage here. He actually plays it as a provisional as well, which, first of all, big advocate for. So a lot of people make a decision. Sometimes they get burned for it.
Right.
He's going to play a provisional as you see him miss that shot. And they ended up being the same score, so he doesn't get punished for it at all. But they made the decision of saying it was a missed Mando according to their interpretation of the rules. So even if you're like, it's not a missed Mando, the rule says it rules here. it didn't matter.
Right.
They interpreted that way, and they still talk to the TD afterwards. Again, all elite pro plays.
Everything.
Yeah, that I think that you can, if you're an AM wondering how do you make a decision like that, they got together, talked for 2 minutes, made it the decision that they weren't 100% sure, but they thought it was this, called a provisional, and figured the whole out.
Yep.
Bates with the birdie,
Great
which is
birdie.
strokes on folks.
It really is.
This one is a nervy one to get.
Especially lead card, expected to play well.
Right.
You're staring down a hill. Yeah, it's tough.
Since 2015, Great Lakes Disc has been supporting players at all levels, from local leagues and events to professional disc golfers on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Visit GreatLakesDisc.com to learn more.
You just want to stay clean. And, we see our second bogey of the card on this hole now as we move over to hole 12. But this is another birdie opportunity.
Yep.
380. It's not really uphill, is it?
No, it's pretty flat. Your first shot will be over a hill, but you're not playing this as it's downhill. You're not playing it as uphill. You're just throwing your hyzer backhand. A lot of these guys are going to go Firebird, Athena, overstable fairway drivers. I think this is Austin's vulture. He throws this really, really well. Stock 380, hit the ground, skip, roll into circle, make a putt.
Yeah. And again, here's one of the OBs that I actually really like. I think OBs like this work. There's an OB line on the right.
Yep.
It punishes the person who shanks into oblivion.
Right.
Like, one thing that when we're looking at scoring separation, man, I shanked, like people have complained about Las Vegas. I shanked it into oblivion on the right.
Right.
And then I have a wide open 280, and then I tap in my par. The other person got to circle 2 and missed it. Zach's going over all the OB on the left side now around this tree. He's asking this to stay up. And it does. It misses it ends right of the basket from his perspective. That's a big shot. But I like adding OBs like that because it punishes the bad shots, which should get punished. And then the good shots that shouldn't be affected. Because this OB is not in the way.
No,
it's
not
not
at all.
close. It shouldn't be in your head.
Nope.
But if you happen to turn one over, didn't win the read right, you might lose an extra stroke there. And I think those types of OBs are really, really beneficial.
Right. John's got this really high pitchy putt, which I'm really interested to see as the tournament goes on how this benefits him in the wind.
Sure.
If there is any wind over the next couple days.
So we saw something similar from Lindsay in the FPO coverage where she was more kind of lofty, pitchy than it was a firm putt, which in other coverages at States and stuff like that, she had a much more firm putt in the woods. I would imagine that's his natural putt. It's not a big change. I would imagine it prevents him from ever having major comeback putts.
Right.
That it gives him a bid at almost everything without ever punishing him into not being able to make the comeback putt.
It's a mental game.
Yeah, we need him to, evaluate that. Maybe it's a comfort thing, but I would imagine that is an element of his decision. As we move over now to hole 13, 362, we have 2 OB bushes on the left. We have an OB line on the right that kind of hugs the long grass, but then bulges out as we get closer to the highest point on Brewer, which means this is the windiest point on Brewer.
Right. And you're going to see Austin fighting that wind here with a hyzer. He's going to leave it left, and that is an incredible stop there. I think there's 3 feet of dirt there that he landed in. Maybe 3 feet.
You're being generous saying 3 feet.
And we're going to see if we can get some dirt love here for Nick, too. There might be more than 3 feet of dirt.
Maybe there's more. I mean, they keep finding it, though.
Yeah. I will say, this green did not play
as skippy
as it normally does.
When I came out here with the drone, I thought they didn't cut it as low. Or they cut it earlier.
Yeah.
And then it had more chance to grow before. It didn't grow a lot. I mean, we haven't really had a lot of rain. It's been 90 degrees with 90% humidity all the time. Zach was able to at least get up the hill. Lefty, I can't even imagine trying to play this hole for the lefty. He's got to be playing for par, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's a very good player, but I mean, throwing something that's turning over, but not too much.
Yeah.
You're fighting the wind. I mean, wow.
Oh,
what a run! There must have been no wind, because if there's any wind, that putt becomes
scary.
Yeah, impossible.
Austin, I've seen events in the past where this putt that Austin has right here is a layup.
Yep.
you have 40 mile per hour gusts, and it's like, this isn't worth the back and forth it could be. I'm just going to lay it up.
And you see a lot of big numbers on this hole.
Yeah, you certainly can. Because if let's say you go OB early, you miss your putt, let's say you airball it. If you airball again, you're back in the OB.
Right.
So you can definitely just add a couple strokes real fast if you're not careful. Arguably the favorite hole in the course, I would say. Like personally, just to here at Brewer, hole 14, 461, way downhill. Tons of added OB this year, especially on the right side. How does that change the play than what we've seen here in the past when people have tried to throw big over the top on Anheuser and try to let it swing back with something stable? How is that new OB line affecting the play?
Yeah, it actually forces you to go far. Like, I've seen guys play the fairway driver.
Sure.
And I didn't see a lot of it this year. Now, this is the common mistake. Just let it die off left early.
And you run into those bushes.
You run into the bushes. There's nothing in there. It's an easy 3, but there's nothing in there. But you're going to see a lot of these guys go big. And here's the big Anheuser. This is the play that you do if there's no wind.
It's got to work its way back, though.
He's really testing that OB line. That is safe.
Yep.
That is safe. I actually have seen a lot of Heisers in the past going right around this big first tree.
Interesting.
I've seen Nick take that line a couple times. I've taken that line a couple times. If you have any crosswind, it becomes a pretty simple shot. You just throw a wide Heiser and fight down through those bushes at the end.
Interesting. I've never filmed it. I would love to see the conditions line up for that. This looks a little turned for Zach. Needs to sit down.
I think that might have been the same disc he threw in the last hole. Just seems to be a little too flippy for this shot.
Yeah, because he's throwing it to be flippy on the uphill and then coming back downhill. I will say, now that I've filmed Zach in 3 events in a row, I love Zach. Not a complaint there.
Great guy.
I would say that I would not describe his bag as being overstable.
No.
Like, he has a green nuke.
He's controlled.
Oh, yeah. Everything is really straight that he manipulates. And I think that's part of the recipe of his success, because I can't name one other human being that would throw lefty backhand, righty forehand, and be able to play on the tour.
And do it well.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone. Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You might know someone who does, who can. I don't, not off the top of my head right now, can I think of them.
10, 15, 10, 20 rated. I mean, he is an absolute dog on the course. And he doesn't throw super far. He just throws controlled, good shots. And just the nicest guy to be around.
He is very nice. Worth noting that Austin's birdie streak of 4 in a row ends on that one. But I would imagine it's going to get back here on 15. 325 uphill. OB on the left. You see that orange line? Again, it bulges out as we get closer to the basket.
Yep.
But you can't have a backhand that bails out hard left.
Right.
That has been removed on this course now. So it's got to have a forehand, right?
There are some backhand shots. I see a lot of guys throw the backhand that surprises me. I've seen Austen do it before, which shocks me always. But this forehand is pretty simple. And Jon, leaves it a little short, but that's not bad. It's pretty open there.
Yeah. If you get to that bush right in front of the basket, usually you can straddle one way or the other. There's kind of a hole on the right side. So you usually get an option at it. Right. But you want to be just past that bush if you can.
Right. We'll see Austen as well over there. I had to guess, this is Nick's Raptor, which he throws so well. Very unfortunate roll, but still inside circle or right on the edge.
Zach gets an advantage on this one, though.
Man, he throws hard.
He has a very old school Nick Gill reach back. Like Nick used to do that, reach back, pull in, rip through. His form has changed a little bit over the last year or so, but that very similar in my mind as we see Austen get back on the birdie train with the birdie there in that bush.
Great putt from Nick. It's nice to be back in the woods, have a little less wind if there is any out there.
Yeah, Nick and Austen really setting the pace here. Zach hasn't really made any major mistakes, but he hasn't capitalized either as he gets this birdie, but he's missed a couple out there. He still has a couple holes where he can get the birdie, but he's going to need them if he wants to stay in contention. I would imagine that 10 to 12 is the hot score that's fairly consistent, but anyone that's in that level could pop off for 15 at any round. As we move over to hole 16, 356, the OB has been shrunk in, especially on the left side. The right side's still the same OB between 16 and 17. I actually like the forehand on this hole.
Yeah, I would agree.
But the trees line up the opposite to that, so it's really, really nervy.
Yeah. This is the play with the forehand. Nice little flex. You're against the green. The green is sloping down to the left, and Jon does it really, really well.
Off the top of my head, I can only ever remember Marweed taking that play. I may have seen Austen try it before, but I'm pretty sure I've only ever seen Marweed do it, as we see Bates now leak towards that 17. We'll have to see if he ended up getting over the OB in just a minute. But he's going to be in contention towards that, unfortunately for him.
Wow. This is very uncharacteristic of the two of them.
Just not enough stability in those discs.
I'm a little surprised to see both of them go mid-range. I do think it is a nice fairway driver.
They might be concerned of the ground action.
Interesting. We see another burned over shot.
I mean, because with that, for Zach, I would think that he could go fairway driver because skipping right doesn't matter as much. For Nick and for Austen, I would imagine it's more.
Oh my gosh.
Okay then.
Nice par.
I mean, he. Oh, look, he's trying to hide the smile. Yeah, I'm not smiling. Someone had to top Sam Smiegel's throw-in from a couple years ago.
Wow. I mean, that's a full flex putter from probably 110 feet. And then 3 chains on the left side.
He can't. He's shaking his head no at it. See the front angle of this little lean back. Look at the eyes.
It's almost embarrassing.
Oh, boy.
He's smiling it off.
Didn't deserve it, but I shouldn't have thrown that shot to begin with. So thanks for the neutral result, I guess. Yeah. And we're taking a look here at Austen. He does leak too far right. He's going to be out of bounds, and this is a long look for par.
Wouldn't this be sick?
Back to back.
Oh. Not even a foot short.
Gave it an effort. Nick trying to keep his round going.
Wow.
Hey.
Putting clinic on hole 16.
Taking a look at our scores right now, that 10 to 12 is what we're looking for, and Nick has the opportunity for that 12. He still can put together a very good round. Jon's at 11, right now is 13 within reach. I don't really see either of these next two holes being eagled, but they're for our card. I think this hole specifically, 605 at 17, should be a birdie for them all.
I would agree.
Break down why they should be able to birdie this one.
This is pretty straightforward. I mean, 600 feet par 4 isn't super difficult, but OB left, OB right, and a strange uphill at the beginning of the tee, right off the tee. Now
keeps the fairway blind.
Right. If you have any forehand, you're going to go forehand chip 300, forehand chip 300, and you've got yourself a birdie.
Sure.
One new addition is the OB on the right side long on this hole this year.
Usually they truncate it. In the past, they've kind of run it towards 16's tee pad, in through the woods and kind of draw an arrow because it's never in play really. This time, as you mentioned, they've now kind of followed the wood line.
Yep.
And so now I would say circle's edge or so on the right deep side, there's an OB line.
Yep.
And if you play the forehand pitch and get a road skip, it can come into play really quick.
And you see Nick opting to go far right here and play the backhand into the green.
I don't like that play.
I don't either.
Okay, I thought I was crazy. I was going to let you explain why I was wrong, but okay, I feel better about myself right now.
And Zach is in the same spot too. And this might not be an opt. This might be a little bit of a misrelease and a little bit of a safe play here. But I like being on the left side of all those trees just so that you can go forehand into the green.
I will say that if you push far enough or lay up short enough intentionally, you do get an open gap to throw the hyzer forehand or backhand for Zach into the green.
Right.
I don't we can see Nick is too short for that.
This is a scary approach because you're pushing
the OB
on the right and you're pushing the OB on the left. And you're going to see this just squeaking in front of the woods. That's perfect.
I mean, there's not a much better result you could ask from that shot. Jon probably feels much better about his landing zone.
I do think this is a little high. You want
sit down.
See, that's going to push the OB and is going to be OB. you should road skip. You really should. I see a lot of guys do it.
I would say today, with the wind being down, road skips are in play.
Yep.
But if you get a 15, 20, then don't put the OB
Yeah, that's
further
fair.
into play. Zach, we saw, gets farther forward than Nick did, and now that kind of hyzer gap opens
Inside
up.
line. Yep.
So he's able to take it, and I like that play if that's what you're going for.
And here's the pushing road, almost skipping on the road. You see that road slopes down, and so if you hit anywhere on the slope, you don't get a big skip. It just
Yeah.
kind of skips down.
It kind of chokes and breaks.
Whereas if you hit flat where Jon does, you skip long. So
And there's been years where that hasn't skipped at all. We've had lush, long grass,
Right.
and you just try to pin it.
Yep.
This year, you need to be a little more tentative because
Right.
there's a lot more action.
which that right side where Nick did land allows you to kind of skip into the hill a little bit, and it's not been super skippy, but in years past that takes off and we'll skip right up onto the road.
All right, so we're taking a look at some scores here as these putts go in. We have Nick at 11, Austen at 10. Fantastic rounds in their right if we ended the round right now.
Yep.
They're about to turn over into 18.
Arguably the hardest approach.
Sure.
out here.
Like, this has a lot of danger with it. There's
Lots.
2 OB islands in the fairway. How far is this? How far do you have to throw to get past this first island?
Ideal landing zone, 450.
Okay.
This island ends at about 375, and the distance between these two bushes is about 125 feet.
Okay.
So if you throw 500,
Someone went in the field and
550
ranged this.
Yep. I know because I've been in that second bush plenty.
Sure.
I'll throw the flex shot trying to get distance, and we'll end up in the woods.
Now, with no wind, I would argue that you want to throw hyzer left past the first bush
Yep.
and open up the forehand.
Yep, exactly.
But with a lot of wind, you might want to play farther to the right. Or,
Yep.
I mean, you can land left and just hyzer around, but
And you're going to see Nick take that option. He's going to play left side. If you can get over by the road without going on the road, it opens up the down the road shot.
yeah.
And it's about 315 feet, and it's still scary, but less scary. Now this is crazy.
Really?
I've never seen this.
What?
I've never seen this.
I've seen so many people go for this.
Really?
Yeah.
See, he's under that bench.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's the danger with it, though.
Yeah, being under the bench, the tiny
Yeah,
little.
because you can't move
You
it.
can't move it. It's part of the course.
So, unfortunately, he's going to have to contend with that potentially. But I've seen several power forehand players
Really?
just say, I'm not, because they don't
Fascinating.
have the backhand power
Yep.
necessarily to push that past that first bush. So they say, I'm going to use my forehand
Right.
and I'm going to be on that left side. And even if they're short, they can still push the road past the second
Yep.
bush and then pitch up
Yep.
and take a par.
I still like this play here from Jon. This seems to be a good spot to land.
Give yourself
Nice
some
and safe.
choices.
Plenty of room.
Yeah.
You got the hyzer. You got the forehand. I mean, this is just so unfortunate from him.
I would argue that like this year in particular is the first time I've ever seen pushing the second bush is detrimental.
Yep.
Because it's grown so much outwardly
Right.
that it makes some shots near impossible now.
Yep. I was in front of it this round,
Nice.
and it was not ideal.
Oh, then not nice.
Not ideal. Yeah, I was right up in front, right next to it.
Zach has, if this sits, this would be a fantastic approach.
Edge of circle.
Yeah, I mean, he's having to deal with a bench picnic
Yeah.
table in your run-up is difficult in its own right, but to get the full flight to get into the
Right.
green is very nice.
This is the common shot.
I love this play.
Wide forehand, it digs. This green is not super skippy and just pins it.
Couldn't ask for much better than that.
It's going to be a good round from Austen if he finishes with that putt. Jon here, same shot, nice and wide. This looks even wider.
Just
might
needs to
be
sit.
Oof,
Oh, nope.
nicely done.
He was fine. He was never in danger.
Nope.
I'm a silly Willie.
Now you're going to see right next to that tree down at the end, there's a sign. This backhand can hit the sign.
Jared Stoll did it.
Did
once.
he?
Yeah, he did.
That's
And then he
so
made the putt.
unfortunate.
So
That's awesome.
That's why it's a fond memory
Yep.
for him is because he made the putt. But
I have hit that sign before as well.
in fact, our FPO coverage, which has been released now for a week,
Mm-hmm.
on the final round, someone hits that sign and it's relevant.
Really?
Yeah, so if you haven't checked that coverage out for FPO, it comes down to the wire. You're not going to want to miss that. And you're not going to want to miss this coverage either. I mean, looking at our scores right now, our feature card is
Tight.
doing it. I mean, you're hoping to come off of round one 10 to 12. That's a solid round. Right now, Nick just secured a 7-down back nine, 12 total. Oh. Jon unable to get that one to go.
That's going to sting after a good round.
Yeah, because he's had such a good round to have one.
Right.
The bogey on 17 is close. I mean, he was less than a foot away from staying in bounds there, but he's going to settle for the par there. He's going to stay at 10. But, I mean, realistically, these are all contending scores. Zach a little
You're
off.
not out of it.
Yeah, he's a little off pace, but he's still close enough as we look at the leaderboard. 2 people at 12, 2 people at 11. So we have a clean lead card going into round 2, and we still have 7 people all within 2 strokes of the lead. So this is anyone's tournament still.
It really is.
If you haven't already, please consider liking, subscribing, check out our Patreon as a way to support us to continue to do more events. Frank, we're going to get into round 2. Are you excited?
Very excited.
All right, we'll see everyone in just a minute.